Welcome back to the Bad Influence Podcast, Fired Up Friday, where we show you how to take control of your life without the bullshit. I'm the bad influence that you need in your life, Bjordan Banderas, and remember, I'm Jordan with a B because the B is silent. Let me give you the best piece of advice that you will ever hear in your life. Stop letting yesterday's bullshit define your tomorrow. Your past is either your school or your cage. And only you get to decide. That's right. Because here's the thing. Every scar, every setback, every hard lesson has the power to either trap you in regret or propel you towards unstoppable success. The choice is yours. Literally. There will come a raw, unfiltered moment when you realize your past is in a prison. It's a masterclass in resilience. I had that moment, and it changed everything for me. And it can do the same thing for you. You don't want to face that moment when you've been beaten by life in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s. Because starting at that age again, like starting over at that age, is much harder. It's not impossible. No, it's not. But it is significantly harder. So stop running from your mistakes. Look them in the eye and say, I learned from you, and you will not hold me back. Your past is simply a blueprint for growth. And if you don't believe me, ask yourself this right now. What valuable lesson did this scar teach me? What valuable lesson did this setback teach me? Let that question resonate until you feel the shift in your mindset, a key to rewiring your future. Imagine two paths. One where you're caged by regret, and one where you're schooled by experience. Every choice you make builds that future. So don't let fear decide for you. A lot of us let fear decide everything for us. That's why we stay stuck. That's why we don't do what we want to do. That's why you're at the dead-end job that you hate right now. That's why you're in the toxic relationship you're on right now. And the longer you dwell in yesterday's pain, the more opportunities slip away. It's time to flip the script. It's 2025. Right? It's 2025. It's time to flip the script and harness your history as the fuel for a better tomorrow. You must understand that clinging to all mistakes can anchor you in a sea of self-doubt. Don't let those regrets weigh you down. No, don't let that happen. They're lessons in disguise. Every failure, heartbreak, or misstep is a lesson waiting to be learned. Your past is a repository of wisdom. You simply need to extract the insights. Which, I'm going to tell you right now, it's hard. It is hard. It's like pouring lemon, lime juice, salt, whatever, hot sauce, on an open wound. And if you replay your failures over and over and over, you're building a cage that holds you back. So acknowledge them, learn, and then let them go. Recognize that your scars are not symbols of weakness, but battle wounds that prove your survival and strength. Yeah, that's how you have to see it. That's how I see my scars. That's how I see my future, and it has changed my point of view about failures. Because when you do this, you start to see them as the stepping stones to your future triumphs. So stop apologizing for your past. Own it. Every experience, no matter how painful, and every mistake that, no matter how big it was, has made you the badass you are today. believe it or not, this is what your past has done. You're a badass. Even if you're stuck right now in a dead-end job, toxic relationship with toxic family, even if you're not where you want to be right now, you're still a badass. You just have been able to unleash it. Just like it happened to me. The person that I am right now is not the same than the person that I was 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I have grown so much, and it's because I have been able to look at my past and say, you know what? Yes, I fucked up. I made mistakes, but then I'm going to extract the lesson and apply it to my present, and I have been able to move on forward and create a better future for myself. That's how I've been able to use my past. I remember a time when I was drowning in regret. Every mistake felt like a chain holding me captive. And probably you feel the same way at some point in your life, or you're going through this right now. In my case, I was convinced I'd never be free. Then one night, I looked at myself in the mirror and realized my scars, physical and emotional, were my greatest teachers. I decided enough of letting yesterday trap me. It's time to rise. My wife needs me. I need me. I began to see every setback as a stepping stone. Each scar became proof of my resilience, a badge of honor that propelled me forward. That moment of brutal clarity flipped my perspective. My past wasn't meant to cage me, but to school me in the art of survival and success. Once I embraced my history, my entire life transformed. I'm not gonna lie, it transformed for the better. I no longer fear failure. I welcomed it as the fuel for my comeback. Listen to what I'm about to say. Every day, as soon as you wake up, you stand at a crossroads. Will you let your past confine you, or will you let it educate you? Your decision today determines your tomorrow. Understand that each scar carries a lesson. Instead of hiding them, let them remind you of the strength that comes from overcoming adversity. Don't allow society or even your own mind to convince you that your mistakes define you. Because if that was the case, I wouldn't be doing this. If that was the case, I shouldn't even be married. Your mistakes, your scars, your setbacks, they are simply chapters in your success story. So pick up the pen and start writing a new story. One where your past fuels your ambition, not your insecurities. You were not expecting that one. This is one thing that you have to change in your mind. You have to stop letting your insecurities or your past fuel more insecurities. You have to let your past and your scars and your setbacks and everything negative fuel your ambition. You have to realize that you are the only one who can decide how your history influences your future. Own it, learn from it, and then leave it behind. Once you extract the lesson, you don't need it anymore. Because there's no more lesson right there. It's literally like eating a fruit. Like, for example, I love mangoes. It's like eating a mango and just throwing away the pit, right? There's nothing else for the pit or the skin of the mango, right? You just leave it there. I got the good stuff, in this case the fruit itself, the mango, and then I left everything that I didn't need behind. That's how you need to live your life. If you decide to take on this journey, start by dedicating time each day to reflect on your experiences. Journal your thoughts, acknowledge your scars, and note the lessons learned. Instead of I fail, say I learn. Replace self-pity with self-improvement, which I know it's hard, but it can be done. Each failure is feedback for your next move. And then spend a few minutes each day visualizing the badass you want to become. Picture your success in vivid detail. Let that image drive your actions. Break your big dreams into manageable steps, which I know a lot of people don't want to do that. You want to take the first step, but you don't want to just get to the first step. You want to get to the top in a single jump. But your stairs to the best life that you can have is not just one step, not 2, 3, 4, 5. You cannot jump it from the bottom all the way to the top. You have to do it in steps. And remember this. Every small win builds momentum and reaffirms that your past has prepared you for greatness. Tell yourself, I am unstoppable. I am shaped by my scars, not defined by them. Repeating these affirmations rewires your brain for success. Keep a journal dedicated to your growth. Yes, you need that. If this works for you, great. If it doesn't, then don't even try it, right? This is what has worked for me. This is my blueprint. And if it works for you, great. If not, like I always say, tweak it. Make it work for you. Another thing that I recommend you to do, write down one lesson from each scar and how you plan to use it as fuel for your future. Practice meditation to clear your mind of negative clutter. Log off social media. Turn off the news. Clear your environment. Because your environment is not just your house or the people that you hang out with. It's also what you see, what you read, what you hear. Focus on the lessons of your past and visualize them transforming into your strength. Use a strategic planning to divide your long-term ambitions into daily tasks. This makes even the most daunting goals seem achievable. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to be better. I always say that because it's so true. If you're not hanging around people that push you, you're going to be hanging around people that will hold you back. Because here's the thing, at least in my case, it turns out I'm fucking smart. My entire life, I've been smart. I've been killing it in school, except here in the US, but that's a different story because I didn't really care. But I have been able to achieve a lot. And I used to hang out with people that will always hold me back. Will always tell me like, hey, don't be too fast. Don't learn too fast. Don't do this because you're making me look bad. And because I wanted to fit in, I slowed down. I stayed back just so they wouldn't feel bad about themselves. I did in elementary, junior high, and high school. And I did at my jobs. People will complain, oh, you're killing me in the scorecard. Slow down. And then I will slow down. But you cannot do that. This is not the time to please others. That's why I had to look inward. Look at my scars. Figure out what I learned from them. and kill it in life. Become a better version of myself because of those scars. And if people didn't like it, guess what? I didn't give a shit. And if you decide to take on this journey, another thing that you should do, which is something that worked for me, is to share your journey with trusted allies who help keep you accountable. Because you have to be accountable. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to have an accountability partner. And a lot of people don't like that because they don't like to feel that they have to be accountable for their mistakes. But that's just going to hold you back. Another thing that people don't like to do, and this is something that I have been able to learn and do it pretty well because it works out for me, is to never be afraid to take calculated risk. Every bold move, even if it fails, teaches you something valuable and moves you closer to success. When you turn your scars into stepping stones, you develop a confidence that no one can shake. And that is so true. You know that every challenge has prepared you for this moment. Your past becomes a toolkit for overcoming future obstacles. You become a person that sees a challenge and is like, I know I can overcome this because I overcome that. That challenge over there 5 years ago, 10 years ago, a while back, taught me how to overcome this challenge right now. And I can tell you, this is how I have lived my life in the last 10 years, or since my wife got sick since 2017. And I have been able to accomplish more than ever before. I have been able to accomplish so much more than in my entire life. Because I learned, and I want you to learn this, that each lesson learned is an extra layer of armor, making you more resilient. You become more resilient. You have this determination that nothing can shake. Embracing your history in this way doesn't just free you, it empowers you. It transforms potential setbacks into opportunities for explosive growth. So right now, right at this moment, when you're listening to this, it doesn't matter what day it is. It doesn't matter the time. It doesn't matter the problems that you're facing, the situation that you're on right now. Decide that your past will not be your cage, but your school. Pick one scar, one regret, and write it down. And then next to it, write down the lesson it taught you. Use that lesson as fuel for your next bold move. Because when you do this, you might be able to learn something that is going to let you overcome the next 10 obstacles. The next 5 years worth of obstacles. And then you're going to get to a point in your life where you're going to look back at this moment and be all like, wow, I didn't think I could do it, but I did. I didn't think I had it in me, but I have it in me. I didn't think I was going to get to this point, and I got to this point. And I know it can be done because I did. That's what I'm doing right now. That's why I'm talking about this. Because I see people getting stuck in their past, just like I was 10 years ago. And I also see people looking for answers from so-called gurus that all they do is take advantage of them. And let me tell you this. If someone tells you that if you pay them a shit ton of money per month or per year, and they're going to change your life because of that. They're going to show you how to turn your scars into fuel, kind of like what I talked about today. They're full of shit. Because at the end of the day, you can take a horse to water, but you cannot force the horse to drink. So it doesn't matter how much you pay to someone for them to change your life, right? What matters is that you decide to actually do it. What matters is that you decide to look at your past, to look at your open wounds and heal them and learn from them. Because without doing this, your past will become the cage where you're going to wither. And that's it for today. Share this episode with someone who needs to hear that their history is a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Your journey is yours alone. Embrace every scar, learn from every failure, and unleash the badass you were meant to be. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start transforming your life today. And remember, the choice is yours.